Hello Patreon supporters, this is actually the second of 2 IFR lessons that I flew with Jason on a weekend in San Francisco. It was really cool stuff. This is basically non-stop, good, solid stuff. I'm making an episode out of it, but I cut out like a couple moments of dead air, and there's a really cool learning moment at the end, so I hope you enjoy this one.
Now, so here's your needle to Woodside, 179, okay, so climb up to 3,500, and your first point is there.
Caravan 112 Golf, contact NorCal departure, have a good flight. Have a good one, 29 Golf.
So, let me see if I can get rid of him, and I'll tell you something before we contact NorCal.
Reservoir inbound for landing with X-ray.
Sky 6045, start saying Carlos Tower, cross overhead, midfield at or above 1,200 for right traffic, runway 30.
Cross overhead at or above 1,200 for right traffic, runway 3042, Foxtrot.
That guy's having trouble speaking.
Tower confirm, departures 3465. 135.65. 3565, thank you.
And if you guys have a minute to get Steve's iPad on the Stratus, I didn't actually do that.
Can you do it, or do you want me to do it?
If you can do it, if you want to take control.
I got control.
Golf and Foxtrot, like to cross over Foxtrot,
For more, proceed as requested.
San Carlos Tower, 226, share pop request frequency change.
So 610, sir, pop-up frequency change approved.
That's 236, share pop.
So Skylane 3 Tango Zulu, runway 30, taxi via Kilo.
We're going off this guy. Okay.
Kilo to runway 30.
Turn the lamp down for a second. So one of the things I just wanted to say on camera is like, it's good that we departed. Yeah, go ahead. Good that we departed VFR because so often we're sitting there waiting for IFR releases, and students are asking me like, do we have to sit here?
Stop at 3,000?
3,500, please.
Okay.
And they're asking me like, geez, do we have to really sit here? And it's like, you actually don't. That's one of the beauties of Part 91. If the weather is clear at your departure point and you've got a flight plan on file, just take off and contact approach and say, I've got a flight plan on file, I'd like to pick it up now. And that's what we're going to do today. Right, and we sort of picked the route that we're doing now so that we could kind of think in front of the airplane. And you see we're coming up on Woodside. So the kind of thinking I want to do is like, when we get to Woodside, what's going to happen according to the 5T?
Will this be full stop?
All right, like, there's going to be a left turn to 141. There is no time. The GPS is going to auto twist, but it's always up to us to take that DK, the direct track number, and twist it into the OBS. So we'll have to twist that to 141, or whatever this number says. So left turn 141, twist 141. There's no throttle and there's no talk, so there's 2 things to do when we get there. And you and I just got 1.5 miles in front of the plane.
Roger. Okay, we're leveling off 3,500 and I'm going direct to, I'm just following that.
Yeah, until you get there. And, GPS makes it fairly simple. It's probably going to say turn left in 3, 2, 1, that kind of thing.
Oh, it actually counts it down for you.
It does, yeah. Most of the units, the newer ones, it'll tell you down here. Let's complete that level off.
What did I do wrong?
I'm glad you asked. But here, let's look at this countdown.
Yep.
So it's 7, 6, 5, 4, and then standard rate turnover.
Oh, I didn't do my checklist, right?
No, I was going to talk about, there's a podcast called Level Headed, but I learned it from teaching instruments.
Okay.
So let's go, left to 144.
Did we twist this now or after the turn?
Turn, time, twist in order. So here's your turn. There is no time. Feel free to twist if you're comfortable in the turn here to 144. Boom.
31.
No throttle, no talk, so you're done.
Except I'm still climbing.
Yeah, you're still climbing.
Yeah, okay, let's talk about the proper level off procedure. I've never super solid on the perfect way to do that.
Yeah, well, I think it's easy in a light airplane to pull power because if you pull power, it stops you from climbing, right? So I see a lot of particularly new privates turning here heading 144.
Oh, yeah.
Even more, actually, because we have to go back and get this needle, so go to 135. Go back on that intercept a little. So here's the deal. And pretty shortly into the podcast feed, I did one called Level Headed that explains this. So if you want to go back and listen later or whatever. Okay. But you have to create the top of the hill and accelerate to your ultimate cruise speed. You and I are cruising right now at what speed?
Or left side.
What are we cruising at right now?
Yeah.
108? Or
yeah, good. So the trim setting that you've set should be set for 108. And the problem with pulling the power at the top of climb to stop it from happening is you're 80 knots. And over the next 10 minutes, you're going to accelerate from 80 to 110. During that time, there's no way you're going to be able to divide your attention effectively enough to find the right trim setting.
242 Foxtrot.
So at the top of your climb, you have to create the hill, like push forward, leave the power in there, push forward, find the sight picture that equals level flight. A little lower even than that. If you're going to set power at 2300, find a new picture that equals level. Push forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Good, and aim small. So you got just the top of your ball going into the white, right?
Yeah.
31.
So you find that picture and then set power. That's basically the difference.
Okay,
And
so
it
am I
will-
too high maybe with power, or?
Well, no, it doesn't matter where power is. Wherever power is, there will be some matching picture to give you level.
Yeah, so do you want to cruise at 23, or is that
Sure.
too? Okay.
No, that's good. And then I would go through a cruise flow check, which for me always starts here. So I got 135. That's the heading you're actually flying. 135, what does it say there?
130, so fix
yeah.
it now.
Yeah. Good, and yeah, excellent. Now how's your engine looking?
All good.
Lights are where you want them. Taxi light.
We turn it off?
Sure. And how's the mixture?
Still rich, so we'll lean it.
Yeah.
So what's your technique? Do you pull it, like we can look at cylinder head temperature, or what do you?
You know, really in a fixed pitch prop, I go for best power lean because the EGT, especially unless you have a glass panel airplane, the EGT takes a lot of time, like a lot of distance. You travel 30 miles while you're working with it. So I just lean for best power, which is twist out until you see a drop in RPM and then go back in until you peak the RPM. And just be cautious while you're doing this that you don't change your pitch, because in a fixed pitch prop, if you pitch up inadvertently, it'll slow the engine down, and you'll think that's your drop. Keep coming a little more good right around there, then go back in to peak tack, yeah. That's best power. A pretty safe one. Awesome.
You guys got to fix my track.
Yeah, that's great. And then in our little system, the next thing, because you're confident with what's going on now, we're going to just back it up. I just pick up a checklist and I say cruise, power, mixture, instruments, checklist complete. That's done, and you're redundant, single pilot. And that comes from like part 135, single pilot operators, just looking for redundancy anywhere you can get it. So this next point in front of us is one of my favorite demos for our system, because there's really nothing to do. Like, what's the point we're going toward here? If you look on the low altitude and route chart, what's the next point?
Dante?
Actually, even behind that, where are we? We're right here. So the next point is... Oops, sorry.
Sapid.
Good. So if we go through the 5 Ts for Sapid, which is in front of us some number of miles, there's no turn.
Runway 30, taxi via Kilo.
That's really quiet. Are you turning that down or up?
All the way down. There's no turn, there's no time, there's no twist, there's no throttle, and there's no talk. So you know with confidence that there's nothing for you to do until you get to Sapid.
Right.
That's a good feeling, IFR. So you're confident with what's going on right now. You know that for the next 4 or 5 miles, there's nothing to do. So now you can start working on those A's, like getting the ATIS, briefing the approach, and start looking at that big picture stuff. Is really that's the whole system.
Okay. And now that I'm on my track, I'm going to turn to match.
Good. Good. So tell me what heading?
145.
Awesome.
I'm assuming there's no wind correction needed. We'll see, right? Once we sit on it.
Yeah. Good, man. You're here today.
I'm here, yeah.
I see it. Welcome.
Yeah, yesterday was tough. I was tired and a lot was going on.
Yeah. Well, let's climb to 5,500 if you would.
Okay, so let's talk about the procedure for climb then. So we pitch and then power?
Kind of simultaneously, but I look at enriching the mixture a little bit.
All the way or just a little bit?
Um,
A little bit because we're going up a little, or out?
We're below 5,000 in a full power climb. Let's go full rich.
Okay.
Yep. And then you could pitch up. If you did anything, I would pitch up first, really. And I'm just really managing speed.
That's my take, is pitch up first because I don't want to overspeed the engine.
There you go. Good. That's fine.
And then just go to the climb.
Yeah, and a little right rudder. And then in my world, just to keep my own flying standard, I immediately run the exact same flip trick. Check 145 on the compass. 145. Gauge is looking good. The ammeter's still working. Lights are where I want them. Mixture's good. Climb, power, mixture, instruments, checklist complete. And that took less than 10 seconds.
Yeah. How do we know we're okay to climb?
Because I just know that I've memorized the Bravo airspace out here. Sorry.
Okay. We're still VFR currently, so we're doing our own thing.
Yeah.
He cleared us en route. Is that what happened?
No, you don't have to get cleared VFR. We're just flying.
So we said bye to him.
We didn't even do. Yeah, we asked for a frequency change, and he mixed up our end number, and then he got busy, and I left the frequency. So.
But we're one thing, Steve, do you want to take the plate off of that so we can see the actual en route chart on your iPad?
Oh yeah, okay.
Because right now we're looking at the...
You can just hide it.
Nice, okay. And then recenter, there you go.
Cool. And so what I'm going to do now, or what we're going to do now, is contact NorCal and pick up our IFR clearance.
I say to fix that.
Excellent. And you maybe discovered there is a little wind off the ocean, right? Good.
I'll just bracket this about 10 degrees and then maybe fix it to go to 5 once we're back on it.
That's fine, yeah. And I find just like saying to yourself where you're going is what's critical, right? Otherwise you'll just...
Keep on, yeah. So I'm doing that now, 10 degrees off.
Yeah,
and once I get to it, I'll probably go 5 degrees off.
Yeah, that's bracketing.
And we're climbing to 5,000.
Sure. And I was going to point out, I know we're not technically IFR, but remember 500 feet per minute, and if you can't do it under IFR, you just tell them.
Right.
And all the clearances are, like when there's a change in MEA and all that, it's built upon that. So.
Okay.
Excellent. So let me get a hold of NorCal down here. What are they? 125-715, I think. All right.
Traffic 9 o'clock and 4 miles southbound. Turning out to the east now is a Diamond at 3,500 descending.
How are you, Charlie, looking?
NorCal approach, Skyhawk 236, Sierra Papa. You have somebody in your blind spot here, just use caution.
236 Sierra Papa, NorCal approach.
Oh, he's still 6 miles away. Yes, sir. November 236 Sierra Papa is approximately 15 miles to the north-northwest of Santee intersection on Victor 87. 4,800, climbing 5,500. We have an IFR flight plan on file to Watsonville. We'd like to pick up the localizer 2 approach.
Cessna 6 Sierra Papa, squawk 4631. Maintain VFR for now.
4631 VFR 236 Sierra Papa.
Papa Echo.
Do you have
the Alpha you were climbing to? You said 7,500 or 8,000?
Do you have a preference about vectors or a full approach, or do a procedure turn or fly a vector?
We can take it. I mean, procedure turn is just more to do and think about, so if we have time. Or do you want to do one first clean right through the fog, make sure we get it, and then do another one?
I think we'll have more.
4.52. Have a great day.
5.5, please, for VFR 5,500.
Sorry, yeah, okay.
Cessna 6 Sierra Papa is radar contact. I'm showing you about 7 miles to the west of the Watsonville Airport. Are you GPS equipped?
Yes, sir, we are GPS equipped.
Okay, Papa Roger. Maintain VFR for now. You'll be number 2 for the airport, for the approach into Watsonville, the localizer approach. There's a skyline off your right there at 3 o'clock and about 4 miles, 5,000 feet.
Okay, roger that. Yeah, we've got him on the scope, but we're not visual yet. Looking 226 Sierra Papa.
Number 9 Mike Charlie, fly heading of 140, vectors for localizer approach into
He's about 4 miles and 300 lower, at 3 moving to 4 o'clock.
Got him.
61 approaching on frequency?
He's right on the horizon, just above the cloud bank, slightly behind our 3 o'clock, so closer to 4 o'clock.
Got him, thanks. Alright, good. 236 Sierra Papa has traffic in sight. Yeah, 5-5, good.
6 Sierra Papa, thank you.
Alright, good. So
get top of the hill, accelerate.
Yeah, perfect. And keep pushing forward. Find the top. Good. Find the top. Now make a power change just before you get where you want. Go back to 23.
Good morning, NorCal.
Find the top of the hill.
Watsonville request.
There you go. Power back a little more. Good. Now your trim is actually, like now when you set trim, you're setting it for the speed you want to stay at.
I never changed it, so theoretically it should be where I left it, unless so I just pulled for the climb because I didn't retrim.
There you go.
That's it. The question is, did this altitude change make the difference? I don't know.
Come all the way back to 23. You were flying a low. There you go, right there. That's where your power setting is. Nice. And then leave it out.
Center 6,000, negative 361.
It still requires a little fine-tuning, but that thing you were doing where you climb after leveling off is a result of not finding the top of the hill.
Right.
2 Delta Sierra, affirmative.
2 Delta Sierra, you're clear on that, runway 2 approach into the Watsonville Airport.
That's where we're flying at.
Nice. It's like we ordered it.
Yes.
Did you order fog right there? Yep.
Approach on 120.1.
120.1, 121.
He's probably going to vector you unless we ask for the full approach.
Let's do vectors for the first one,
Okay.
and then we'll know we got one through the fog, and then we can do one with the procedure turn to turn back around.
If you need to do some S-turn to lose them out to, that's approved. You clear visual approach from 828 left.
Isn't that really the real purpose of a procedure turn, when you miss and you have to get yourself turned back around to do it?
Charlie, contact Monterey Tower 118.4 for your transition.
No, it's a limitation of radar, really, right? Or timing. Like, if for some reason ATC wants to time you in a predictable way, they can do that if they don't want to vector you. But, I mean, if they have the ability to vector you, why do a procedure turn?
160 Golf X-ray, NorCal departure, roger, standby. Are you transmission, the GPS equipped?
So he asked us if we were GPS equipped because he's going to give us a GPS approach. Is that why?
I don't know why, because he said he's going to give us the localizer.
Well, he just probably wants the equipment code
Charlie, contact
for the
Monterey
form.
Tower 118.4.
That's right.
Tower 118.4.
361, contact Monterey Tower 118.4.
All right, so when we get to Santee,
361.
that's the initial approach fix. So let's look at the plate. See if we can get in front of the airplane. I'll run a checklist.
Golf X-ray, you clear from the walkable
Mixture instruments checklist complete.
How do we get to the folders again?
So up here is the folder. I think I actually close that button that you always hate, and then go to, oops, you're already one. So I think you want this one. There you go. So when you get to Santee, we're actually going to fly this towards Salinas. That's this bend you're seeing here. The GPS, again, is going to walk us through. If we had VORs, there would be a lot of turning, twisting, identifying.
Right. So do we have time to brief this plate? We're not really, right?
Not exactly. No, we're a little behind here.
So we'll go back to the map.
We didn't get the weather yet either, so. Well, no, we want to be on the plate because this route you're about to fly is not on the map. There you go.
But we gotta get briefed though.
We do.
96 NorCal approach, good afternoon, thanks for Mike.
So,
good morning, thanks for Mike.
Let's get these A's done. Okay, let's slow down a little bit. So this is one of those things where it's like, if we are feeling squashed, let's slow down 2100, pitch up a little bit so you don't lose altitude.
Charlie 9 on Mike Charlie, descend and maintain 4,000.
Excellent. 4,000 on Mike Charlie. All right, you have a new course now, turn left, heading 116. All right, Watsonville weather is 12627, is that right?
What are we looking for? The ASOS?
Yeah.
132.275
Okay.
for the ASOS.
All right.
Okay, so 2,000 RPM and 80 knots, yeah? Slow down?
Yeah, that's pretty slow.
So not so slow?
No, that's fine, that's fine. Go slow. Me advise NorCal. And NorCal, 236 here, Papa. We slowed down about 15 knots here, if that's all right with you. Just trying to get ahead of the plane level.
This is 6 here, Papa, that's fine. It's for your discretion.
Roger that, 236 here, Papa.
Okay, what's my heading supposed to be?
Right here. Always look at your D track, you're right lined up, and you're good. Boom. Now, to get ahead, right, and in front of us is the approach course. So in a few miles, when the needle comes in, we're going to turn, if we haven't gotten vectored, we're going to turn right to follow the procedure turn outbound, right? So there's turn, there is a time, the GPS will twist, there's probably a throttle and a talk. But for right now, watch your power because we're descending. For right now, knowing that, I'm going to use the time we have to start working on the A's. So let's grab the weather.
Celsius. Dew point 13 Celsius. Altimeter 299er7.
NorCal,
Remarks.
53456.
Density altitude 500.
5361. We have Mike would like to go back
Watsonville Municipal Airport, Watsonville, California. Automated weather observation 1826 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition overcast 1,000. Temperature 17 Celsius. Dew point 13 Celsius. Altimeter 299er. Density altitude 500. Watsonville Municipal Airport.
Steve, you pushed a button on your
Watsonville,
iPad.
California. Automated
Let's go back
weather
to the maps page.
observation 1827 Zulu.
I didn't hear a letter to...
Descend and maintain
Did you give us a letter? I didn't catch it.
Left heading 130.
1,100. Temperature 18
Monterey
Celsius.
Tower
Dew point 13 Celsius. Altimeter 299er7.
Okay, good. Keep doing what you're doing. You're looking good. The only thing you have to worry about just flying this slow is controllability. So as long as you feel like you have that, you're good.
Yep.
But look at all this time you bought. We're no closer to nulls than we were 5 minutes ago, right? It's like exponential.
Let's put the brakes on there.
Yeah.
I didn't catch a letter on that AA sauce. Is that...
It's called 1 minute weather. There really is no letter. It just kind
so
of
it's not ATIS.
No, right. It's not
8
tower.
Celsius. Dew point 13.
Just trying to catch the winds again and we'll move forward.
Calm, you said calm.
Okay, great. So I got the altimeter. All I did is write it down, right? Because we're not going to switch. We're still.
I did switch. Okay, so I shouldn't have done
Yeah,
that.
2996. I think he's on good.
Yeah.
Because you're still being separated by approach control.
Okay.
Like, until he says you're cleared for the approach.
Appreciate Papa, turn right heading 190.
Yep.
Right 190, 236 Sierra Papa.
So we're starting to get vectored now. Okay, so let's brief this approach, okay? Okay, we're looking at the localizer runway 2. Do you want to do the briefing?
Okay, just get on my heading first.
Okay.
I'm going to fly 190 until otherwise told.
Yeah, good. And normally we wouldn't be briefing this soon or this close.
This late, you mean?
Yeah, it's a function of the training environment.
Yeah.
You know, if we're flying from LA to San Francisco at 2.5 hours, right? But like we're flying 30 minutes down the road, everything just gets crammed together.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so why don't you direct the briefing just to show me the order so when I'm cutting this I know.
Sure, yeah. Localizer runway 2 at Watsonville Airport. The localizer is on 110.3 and the final approach course is 018.
So should we be tuning as we're doing it?
You can sometimes. So the next day is avionics. And if there's something for us to do, for example, come back here and activate the approach, then we're going to do it now while we're talking, right?
Right.
And the final approach course is 0018, right? So 10201518. All right, so then we go across touchdown zone elevation. Does that say 152?
Yes.
All right, and I can't quite read those notes or the missed approach. You want to just bang through there and see if...
Circling not available at night.
All right.
When VGSI is in op.
Good.
Procedure NA at night.
You know what VGSI is? Visual glide slip indicator, so if the VASI's out.
Okay.
Calling that on my Charlie.
Circling NA on runway 0220.
Okay, so you're not west of it. You can do it, you just can't do it west of it. Is that what it says?
Yeah.
In just a few minutes, so...
When local altimeter setting is not received, use manta ray altimeter setting and increase all MDAs 60 feet and visible CAT C and D 1/2 mile. Circling CAT 1C,
CAT C
1/8 mile.
All right, but that's not us today. We have the actual altimeter, so we're good.
Okay.
What's the missed approach? Just make sure we got that.
Climbing right turn 5,000 direct to SNS Vortac.
Salinas, good. All right,
And
so climbing right turn to 5,000, that makes sense. And you see where your airplane is on the approach plate if you zoom back out, right? So that's just part of the beauty of ForeFlight. I mean, in the past, you don't have that.
Yeah.
What incredible situational awareness, right?
Totally.
So anyway, there we are. Now let's get some frequencies in. What's the common traffic frequency, or the one we're going to need when he switches us to Unicom?
It's 122.8.
Yeah, so let's get that in the backup here. On this unit, there's two ways you can use this. 1, 2, 2.
Just totally blowing my track.
No, you're parallel.
I'm
on
in
your track.
vectors, so I'm in vectors.
Yeah, so see yourself. Here's how you see that. What's your heading here?
190.
So you're flying this way. You should be paralleling the course. You're going to make a left turn and come back in. Does that make sense? Paralleling the course, left turn, come back.
Right.
You see yourself on the opposite side as the needle, headed where you're headed, so that a left turn will bring you back in this way to the approach course. If you visualize that way, there's never anything such as reverse sensing. There's no such thing. I mean, you just see where you're flying right out here and see yourself coming down this way, paralleling the course.
Right, that's because we put that on the bottom.
Well, more specifically, we put this on top.
Got it.
Yeah.
And for a second there I was forgetting, but I'm on vectors. I'm not flying a track there.
I'm showing you about
yeah.
3 miles west of the TFR.
Pretty well off. Pretty well beyond power off gliding distance for sure, but let's not talk about it.
If we just follow headed by 120.
It's only Monterey Bay, shark-infested waters.
Mission 686.
I mean, this is that reality though, right? I mean, if you're VFR, you wouldn't do this to yourself, but we're IFR getting vectors.
Yeah, so I know it's a great conversation, and I joke about it, but I don't fly the approach into Monterey because it has you at 1,500 feet, 4.5 miles offshore, under the fog.
Right.
Right? Like, that's a pretty tough mission for a Coast Guard pilot. He's got to get out there, get under the fog, go find you.
Turn left, make a left turn heading 350, join the localizer, maintain 2,300, report established.
Is that us? No.
Left to 350, report established.
All right, well, so should we speed back up?
Yeah, go ahead if you feel. Let's just, before we do, we got approach briefing. Let's get how low, how long, and which way. So once you come down the plan view, we say how low are we really going? Straight in minimum 700. How long? Where are we going to go missed? If we have the procedure in the backup over here on the GPS like we do, then we'll go missed at the runway. There is a time as a backup just in case if you didn't have a GPS, or we can use it anyway. And which way? We said climbing right turn to 5,000. So how low is 700? How long to the runway missed approach point? And which way? Climbing right turn to 5,000. Right. Avionics, we got the approach activated. We've got
Unicom standing by.
So we're all set. Airplane we'll do before the final approach fix. So now I think we're done with DAs, except for airplane. So yeah, you can speed back up.
Let's get stop climbing.
Mike Charlie, make a left turn heading up.
Okay, so we're speeding up.
Let me know when you're established, please.
330 for 9 Mike Charlie, we'll let you know.
Mooney 0 Golf X-ray approach.
0 Golf X-ray, ready to go.
Mooney 0 Golf X-ray release for departure. Your clearance is void if not off at 1835, actually it's 1837 Zulu. The time now 1834 and 1/2.
0 Golf X-ray, affirmative, out rolling.
Did you hear that on the frequency? Yeah, the guy got a clearance void time. Watsonville is one of the only airports where you can actually reach departure control on the ground.
Okay.
437 North California.
So he was going IFR out of a non-towered field, and this guy said, okay, cool, but if you're not off in 4 minutes or whatever, it's void.
Right.
437.
And that's probably why we're heading to sea.
18 airport site when it helps.
Check out the smoke from the Silver 80s fire.
Runway 28 left.
Like 2 to 3 o'clock out there, that plume.
Yeah.
That fire's been burning for like a month.
Yeah. Look at
Wow.
Good morning, NorCal. Twin Comanche 7300 Yankee with request.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, it's our backup.
Yeah, not even a backup, really to brief the approach. I mean, I think a lot of this kind of stuff. Like if you want that, you notice how you gain 300 feet in the approach briefing? You wouldn't do that if you're flying like this.
Right.
So it's just for that purpose. It's also a backup.
No,
Okay, I'll give them to you just because I'm blowing around. Normally I'd sit on them or put them under my knee board, but... Okay, we're still on our track, we're still
radar contact.
altitude, and we're just waiting for a turn before we go to Hawaii.
Yes.
Although Hawaii would be nice.
Or Pebble Beach over there. Actually, now we can make Pebble Beach. We're in a better position now that we're close to that point.
Right there?
Yeah. We can make that point probably with the winds behind us.
Hopefully they'd let us play around after we crash into their course.
Golf X-ray is airborne, climbing through 9.
That'd be awesome. Pull out a golf bag out of the back.
Crash plane. Did Harrison Ford do that?
No, unfortunately.
Golf X-ray, Dan.
But he pulled off a miracle. That guy was brilliant.
I know, he really was.
0 Golf X-ray, radar contact amounts down to the Watsonville Airport.
Did you hear the first phone call he made was Bob Hoover? After that?
I think he told me that.
Yeah.
Here's Golf X-ray, just over to Santa Cruz for the air work. I was hoping to get some cloud time, but it's...
I flew into the crash.
Come on, dude, yeah, get us in there.
0 Golf X-ray, roger that. Resume navigation on course, maintain VFR.
0 Golf X-ray for I'll just be heading...
It's supposed to be on 19, so I'm off that.
Thank you.
And 236 Sierra Papa, also for some IMC if you have any bounce. God damn that push to talk.
I'm saying Howitzer, IMC copy it, thank you.
Actually, sir, that's 236 Sierra Papa looking for the inbound.
Sorry about that. 6 Sierra Papa, turn left heading 100.
100, 236 Sierra Papa.
Oh, you forgot about us?
Totally.
37, call maintain.
We would have been in Hawaii. Or out of gas.
Maintain that in
Oh yeah, sorry about that, right.
NorCal transfer 6.
It's also a learning point. Like, if you ever are wondering about something, just ask.
Right.
Request, please.
Because A, they'll clarify if you're not sure. B, they might have forgotten about you.
Right.
NorCal 9 Mike.
And the fog's burning so fast that vector hurt.
Thank you. You cleared ILS. Pressure localizer.
Like, it's almost gone over the airport, you think?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's getting there. Keep the turn coming. Left heading 100. That's not so bad. It'll be there. We'll get a little cloud time.
It's right over there?
Yeah, it's the thickest part of the fog where we're headed.
Literally,
there's your heading right there.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
That was 5018 contact Monterey Tower.
Yeah, that golf course is Pebble Beach.
Okay.
5018.
I'm supposed to be at 5,500, right? So I failed my flight test like 3 different ways already.
And 118 Whiskey Charlie.
That's a 437, turn right heading of 190.
Want me to show you an awesome exercise? Just hold 53 for a second because you can't just fly level.
190 for a TFR.
Right to 190, horizon 437.
All right, tell me when you're level and you think for sure you're level.
Well, I'm not trim for it. Should I trim?
No, just, well, whatever. Just,
Maintain flight
I want you to tell me when this picture equals level. Pretty much right there,
Yeah,
right? Okay, so just hold that picture.
Papa, turn left heading is 050, join the localizer,
that
and
ball
expect a
move.
delay though for the approach clearances and IFR inbound for Watsonville as well.
That was us. Did you catch it?
Roger that, 040. So confirm we're not number 1 for the airport now?
Negative. There's a Skyline ahead of you, about 6 miles ahead. He's doing an approach into Watsonville.
Roger that.
Let that ball move off the white line.
Contact Monterey Tower.
I'm not letting move, yeah.
It's going down as far as I can see. Aim smaller.
Okay.
Pick it up a little bit. Right there. Now you got one needle width of white above it. Right there. That's it. Okay, that's how small we want to aim on that.
Okay, yeah.
Are we going to 040 or 050?
I thought I said 040.
Yeah, go
Oh, so not there.
Yeah.
Mike Charlie, you're making
Don't let the ball move. It moved a little. Needle width got 2 needle widths. Pull. Pull more. There you go. That's how small. You see how small we're looking at that?
Yeah.
Another flight 915,000.
Pick it up back to 1 needle width of white right there. That's how small we aim on that instrument. And we lost 100 feet when you went down, but just 100 feet, right?
Yeah.
On this frequency.
Normally,
Ground on this frequency.
IFR students are shocked. Like if we do that right, I can cover this for like 15 minutes and you'll be right on your altitude.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's all about
Aiming small.
taking this entire window and shrinking it into an instrument that's an inch and a half across.
Right.
You guys have to aim really, really small.
Alright, so I should be ascending. What am I doing?
Well, we can come down to 5. I don't know. He's going to give us an IFR clearance in a second. We're not even IFR.
437 passing to 11,000.
Right, so we're still VFR on vectors, is that right? I don't understand where we're at in the flight system right now.
Yeah, we're still VFR, and pretty soon he's going to say you're clear to the Watsonville airport or he's going to just clear you for an approach. We still haven't been, we're still not IFR though.
So all this time we tried to pick up our IFR clearance, we never got it, is that right? Like from leaving, from takeoff?
No, we're going to get it. The situation is that the weather is still good enough that it doesn't matter. If we said to him right now, we're unable VFR on this heading, he would say, Roger, you're clear to the Watsonville airport via heading 040, localizer 2 approach. Boom,
That's an IFR clearance.
Yeah. As long as you have a clearance limit, clear to the Watsonville airport. Stay up there though, yeah.
15 south of Monterey.
Do it, and then just remember, calibrate that in your mind. That's perfect orange ball on the white, right? Actually, you're taller than I am, so your picture's slightly different, but...
Yeah, a little bit.
Coast Guard, Cheyenne 8 Whiskey Charlie, squawk 0360 ident. 0360, it was... Number 00 Yankee contact NorCal approach on 124.52.
12452, thank you for your help. 00 Yankee.
Number 2 Delta Sierra contact NorCal approach on 120.1.
120.1, 2 Delta Sierra.
Now we're flying through the localizer, right?
Desert Flight 9, cleared bridge approach runway 28 left.
Let's get back on heading 040.
Desert Flight 9 begin. And NorCal, confirm 2360 pop flight through the localizer.
Number 6 here, Pop, just join the localizer. I'll have approach clearance for you shortly. There's traffic on the funnel. I'm waiting for him to cancel.
Roger that, join the localizer. 2360 pop.
Alright, so now this is where it gets really important. We can't fly the GPS, right? We're coming up in the final approach fix.
Verify your approach will be to a full stop.
What's the 108?
For 2360 air pop, negative, so we're going to miss the approach climb on top and we'll cancel.
Roger.
So I'm supposed to be flying
Coast Guard 8 Whiskey Charlie.
018?
You're supposed to be flying the localizer, yeah. So no, I want to say, what's the localizer frequency for real?
Wait to be a part.
108.3.
Right, so we got to do this, get 108.3 up there, and we have to make sure this doesn't say GPS. We have to make sure that it says D-lock. Now you're flying this needle.
So now I'm analog.
Yeah, you just joined the localizer. It's IDing for us because it's a fancy unit, but if you didn't have that,
You'd listen for the Morse
listen to
code.
the Morse code, which is going to be I, Alpha, Yankee, November.
Okay, and I'm not supposed to be descending.
Yeah, not yet. I mean, inbound on the localizer, you could be as low as 22, so...
But he didn't clear me, so what do I do?
Yeah, but we got to get down. I would say it's altitude, our discretion.
Okay, so we can ask.
Yeah, NorCal 2360 air pop, altitude our discretion.
Number 6 here, Papa, affirmative. You're VFR right now, so just track the approach inbound, maintain VFR. Have approach clearance for you once that aircraft cancels, once he lands.
Roger that, understood. 2360 air pop.
So, down all the way to 22, we're going to see if we can skim the top of the clouds. Let's just go all the way down to whatever the...
Charlie Golf X-ray 82CO Golf. Horizon Air 437, contact Oakland.
So I'm flying a bit of a...
Yeah, perfect. 030 will work. Let's hold that.
7 Horizon 437.
So it's moving in, so I'll start kind of catching it.
Yep. Let's do a descent flow so we remember to rich in the mixture.
All the way?
Not quite, yeah, a little bit there is good. All right, 035, gauge is good. Lights, let's turn on a landing light. Cool, mixture's good, fuel's good. Descent, mixture, fuel, flight instruments, engine, checklist complete. Yeah, nice, you're just flying that needle on in. Do you like a map page better or like a flight plan page like, oh sorry, or like a default nav page like that?
Yeah, that doesn't mean a lot to me, so I guess I'm a visual guy, so map probably, but numbers with IFR, maybe I should be thinking about learning to look at numbers, because really what I need to do is compare my desired track to my actual... Oh, because both are here, right?
Yeah, we got dueling
So
units.
if there was 0 wind, I would want to be flying 018.
Correct.
Once I get this centered, which I haven't yet, so I'm going to keep like, sort of aiming for it.
Yep.
Okay, do we like our configuration? Like I've got the power pulled to idle, but I'm descending at 90.
Yeah, we like it. That's the only reason we're not full ridge, because your power's at idle and we're still 3,700 feet up. Pitot heat on, please. All the way right. So, you know, ever since I started flying Sirius, which has you fly with the pitot heat on all the time, it's become a standard procedure for me that anytime I'm IFR, I just put it on.
Right.
Whether I'm in the clouds or not.
Car 9, contact Monterey Center, point 4.
Desert flight negative.
Desert flight 9, I'm sorry.
On that one vector.
Say again?
We sort of lost our fog on that vector.
Where's the airport?
12 o'clock and about 8 miles, right where the fog's just broken up.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. This guy's got to find an approach clearance for us in about 2 miles, because the final approach fix is 2 miles from now.
Number 6 here, Pop, still waiting for that aircraft to count as the slowest practical airspeed, please.
Roger that.
Roger that, slowest practical airspeed. 236 share pop.
I'm going to get that guy.
Watsonville traffic, is there a sky lane on frequency? Waiting to cancel IFR. If you can do that sooner than later, it'd be great. And then just about to touch down now. We'll cancel here in a minute.
Oh, that's not going to work.
All right, roger that, sir. Yeah, we got about half a mile here to the final approach fix. Otherwise, we'll have to miss it. Yeah, and also keep in mind you get a couple people working the pattern too, so be real careful when you pop out. NorCal approach streamline 622 12000.
I get some flaps out and really slow down.
190 direct shoot to join Victor 27.
Streamline 622 NorCal, the mean officer is 29994.
I got to get up on my header.
Streamline 622.
Number 6 here, Popeye may have to break out the approach here if he doesn't cancel in the next minute or so.
Roger that, sir. Yeah, we're talking to him on the intercom. He's going to get to it in a second.
NorCal Skyline 219, Mike Charlie is on the ground, like to cancel his IFR.
Nice.
9 Mike Charlie, Roger, cancellation of your IFR is received. Have a good day.
Thanks for your help.
Low.
We're low.
Number 6 here, Pop, cleared to the Watsonville Airport via cleared localizer runway 2 at Watsonville.
All right, cleared to Watsonville via the localizer 226 share pop.
Just keep flying the needle. Go down to your MDA. Just go right through the clouds. Like
What is
whatever.
my MDA? It's
700. Just go down to 7 now.
But why was I low? Because I wasn't the fix at a certain...
Frequency approved.
We were lower than 2,200 before we crossed the final approach fix, but power out aggressively or we're going to miss the fog if you want to go through it. There you go. Yeah, straight down to 7.
Number 6 here, Pop, will you be able to do the published missed approach on the Gulf?
Yes, sir. Published minutes for 236 share pop.
Number 6 here, Papa Roger, report back up on this frequency.
We'll report back with you, 236 share pop. Watsonville traffic, 236 share papa is about 8 miles to the south-southeast, south-southwest, coming up over the shoreline, 1,300 descending Watsonville.
I'll hold that heading, we'll catch back onto it.
Yeah, definitely, and that's kind of the idea behind
Air Force, this is Footstar 188 for Victor. We're about 10 miles east, and we'll be coming in to do a 45 for runway 30 right traffic, Half Moon Bay.
Good. Watch your heading and watch your turn. So get that turn coordinator in your scan. Good.
I gotta make a bit of an aggressive turn to get
700
back
your
on it.
MBA. Good. 700 your MBA. Power up aggressively. Power up aggressively to hold it. Power up, power up, power up. Push all the way in. There you go. There you go. Nice. Excellent. Nice turn. Look at that. You landed on the needle too. Not bad. So look out your window. Check it out. You're 700 feet of your MBA.
We're just kind of not quite through it.
Yeah, you just don't see anything yet, right? So look from wingtip to wingtip in a non-precision approach.
Watsonville traffic, White Skyhawk 236 Sierra Pop is at the shoreline, 700, tracking the localizer runway 2 approach Watsonville.
All right.
I gotta get back on it, so.
Yeah, good. And you're just still looking for
Now,
a runway?
what about my distance? How am I keeping track of when I get to my
3
miss?
miles to the
GPS,
runway.
got it.
Now look ahead. You see that runway?
No.
Push forward more.
Oh,
800 climb. So
climbing, yeah.
yeah, and it's why you don't want to go back up in a circling approach or whatever.
I see it now.
Yeah, great. And so you would circle.
Got it.
We got people in the pattern, and since it's clear, we're probably going to miss.
Yep, so that's it. The fog was just over right here.
Yeah, just starting to break up here over the
Okay, so we're gonna go for the mist.
Yep. Start the mist approach.
Let's get a little closer for the shot.
Okay, good.
On here. Okay, we're gonna go mist.
Yeah, good. And notice here we made it 200 feet higher than the MBA, right? We'll talk about that later. Good. Yeah, climbing right turn, full top, full rich. Forgot our last A. That's why weren't full rich.
Oh yeah, because we should have gone full rich when we committed to the landing, right?
Well, the last of the A's that I use is called airplane. It's like the GUMPS check before.
Watsonville traffic, 236 Sierra Papa, White Skyhawk, about 2 miles to the south of the field, climbing through 1,200 on a missed approach, leaving the area, Watsonville.
A little more right rudder in these climbing right turns to get the nose moving. There you go. And then you go back to NorCal and just say
Go ahead and descend.
you're on the missed approach and we'd like to cancel IFR basically.
Zero Delta X-ray. NorCal Skyhawk 236 Sierra Pop is on the published mist, 1,600 climbing. We'd like to cancel IFR at this time and proceed back to San Carlos.
Number 6 Sierra Papa NorCal departure. Understand your canceling IFR going back to San Carlos. VFR altitude is your discretion.
Roger that. And you want us on this code for 236 Sierra Papa?
Number 6 Sierra Papa further.
6 Sierra Papa.
Number 6 Sierra Papa is going back to San Carlos.
1,800 with Mike. Sorry, that was blocked.
Alright guys, listen up. Number 4 Romeo Papa.
Alright, yeah, keep your turn coming heading 320.
Airport in sight.
Greg Wiggle, direct Monterey, we'll report to airport in sight for me, Pop.
It's weird to make a right turn from where we were to 320, but that was the procedure.
Yeah, it was the procedure and we needed a little altitude to get above these guys.
2 Sierra Golf NorCal. Salinas altitude is 29994.
You can see why, like, I think in the summertime out here, like, especially if we're really going to work and we're willing to get up at like 7 or 8, it's like amazing instrument
And
training.
Jericho is NorCal approach. Roger. Expect visual approach into Monterey.
Todd, did you think it was rude that guy flew the entire pattern and actually waited to put his wheels on the ground before he canceled IFR?
Have we got the airport in sight for me, Pop?
No, not really. Like when I'm flying an approach, I'm not really thinking about who's behind me, and he wouldn't have necessarily known, right?
Number 0 Golf X-ray traffic, no factories off.
Well, it's one of those educational points. You're going to go right through that saddle. That's about your heading right there, 315, 320.
0 Golf X-ray traffic, no factor. He's to be about 1.5 miles to at 5,000.
What latitude?
Oh, I don't know, 35 maybe?
5.5, never did see him.
I guess
He is maneuvering at 5,500, so
I just think it's a point that's maybe underemphasized in the education that, like, when you go to a non-towered field, the approach control facility hands control of the airspace over to you.
Yeah, so you own the airport.
You own the airport, and they are powerless to send anybody else through the system until you give it back.
Right.
And, like, whenever it's safe and practical, like, and appropriate, you should give it back, you know, as soon as practical, I think, is when you should return the airspace to the approach controller.
I mean, that like was eye-opening when I realized that, and the reason that was true.
Right.
But that being said, I have a hard time questioning anybody who's like busy flying an airplane trying to land.
Totally.
So, you know, that's nice, but I can hardly fault anybody for forgetting to do that when they're busy landing.
Right, right. I think that guy had no idea.
They might not have,
Yeah, I think he just was thinking, like you said, I'm going to land first and call second.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but, you know, he probably easily could have made a call and just returned the airspace. Especially when
And maybe if before he went into the approach and switched, if he knew someone was behind him, maybe he would have known, or maybe he would have been more eager to do that, quicker to do that.
It's a finer point of flying.
It
Definitely.
is. It's definitely a finer point, but he did know if he was paying attention, because we were all, I mean, how many times did they tell us he was there? He was on the frequency.
Yeah, but he could be trying to brief the approach frantically or whatever.
Yeah, no, I know.
Trying to